Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
I myself, Sharmila, Assistant Professor, working in College of Physiotherapy, Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology, deemed to be university. So today I'm going to be discussing on exercises for coordination. Here I'm going to be discussing about the exercises for Frankel's, okay, for in coordination, Frankel's exercise. So this Frankel's exercise can be done in the lying position, it can be done in sitting, it can also be done in the standing. So three positions we can do. So first position that I have taken is in lying position. So now we will see what are the exercises which can be done in the lying position. So in this, the first exercise which I wanted to explain is hip abduction and adduction. So what we do here is we make the subject to go for a comfortable position, that is mostly we ask them to go for the lying down position. So in the lying down position, we will keep the head in the raised position by keeping the pillows. Okay, why? Because he has to look at the movement. For that, I will raise his heads. Okay, then after I'll give him a comment telling that try to move his leg outside and try to take it inside. Okay, so by which I'm going to be encouraging the hip abduction and adduction movement. The second exercise is one hip and knee flexion and extension. Okay, again for this also the patient is going to be there in the supine lying position and the head is going to be supported by the pillow. Okay, so where he will be able to look at the limb which is going to be moving. Here what we do is we ask the subject to flex the knee and the hips. Okay, one hip alone we will be asking him to flex and extend. Hip and knee flexion and extension is going to be encouraged. This is a third exercise. Again, it is going to be done in the lying down position. So one leg is going to be raised and placed onto the heel. That is the exercises which I am going to be teaching him. Okay. So here I am teaching him by placing it on the heel. You can also teach him by placing it on the knees also. As a progression, you can do that. Okay. So here, since because the subject is able to understand, I did not make any identification marks here. If the subject is not able to understand what you're telling, or if he's unaware of the area what you're talking about, then the identification mark will help him to identify where he is supposed to place his heel. Okay, so what we do is we ask the subject to lift the leg and we will ask him to put the heel onto the opposite side ankle. Exercises for leg in sitting. Okay, so what are the exercises which can be encouraged? Okay, so what we will do is usually we make the subject to sit. We ask him to sit in front of a bar and then we ask him to hold the bar and then we ask him to get up. Okay, so that can be done, or else we can even make a circle, like a semicircle down. We can make an identification marks that is as it is shown in the diagram, like 1 1 2 2 3 3. Okay, so we can make the subject sit here and we can ask him to place the foot alone over there. Okay, so right side to one side and left onto the other side, we will ask him to place it and then we will ask him to get it up. This is transference of the weight from foot to foot. Okay, so this and all is going to be done in the standing position. So what we do is we draw a line on both the sides. We give him an identification mark. So what we ask him is we ask him to walk forwards. Okay, so when he is walking forward, he has to place the leg in exactly in the box where we have drawn. It is not like he is putting his legs outside. Okay, he has to place his legs exactly in the place where we have marked. Next, this is for walking. Okay, again we draw both the lines and then we draw the marks like where he has to place the ankle and foot down, and then after placing his foot down he will be walking. Okay, so for that we have again made the identification marks by which he can do a walking in the forward direction. And we can also train him to go the subjects for sideways walking also. We make the subject to stand in the same identification marks. We ask them to walk in the sideways direction. This is walking by placing the feet on the marks. Okay, so what we do is we create a points, like 8 points we create for the right side as well as onto the left side leg. So we ask him to initially place the foot in the center, and as we say, he has to put his legs onto that desired number. Okay, so when I say like place one leg forward, he will be placing on one leg in the forward direction, and then bring the other leg forward, he will be bringing the other leg in the forward direction. Similarly, we will ask him also to turn around and to place the legs. This is with the same diagram. What we do is, initially I told him to place the foot in the forward direction, right? So once after he is placing, now he has to turn on to the either directions. So it's very, very important for him to place the right leg and the left leg in the correct marks wherever we have marked. And things whatever we have discussed before was all for the like lower extremity, like where we have discussed for the exercises in the sitting, we have discussed the exercises in the lying down position, we have also discussed the exercises in the standing position also. But these are the exercises which you can also teach for the upper extremity, because upper extremity activity is also very, very important, right? So what we can do for the upper extremity is, we can keep the objects, we can ask him to reach for the object. Okay, initially we will ask him to touch the nose, we'll ask him to touch the therapist's finger, we'll ask them to touch their fingers itself. Okay, so once they are okay with all these movements, we can also ask the subjects to keep any objects in the front, and we can ask them to reach for the object. So while we are going to be training for this function, we are not only going to train for the upper extremity function, but we are also going to be training for the trunk control also. Okay, so with this I'm stopping, but apart from this also, we have lots of benefits of this coordination exercises. So when we give all these exercises, the coordination can be improved, and repetition of the exercises are very, very important. And once a person is going to be doing in all these manner, the trunk control as well as the movement can be done in a very smooth and an accurate manner, can also be attained by a person. Thank you all.